The Pokemon Sun and Moon starters are super hype, and I feel like it's one of those rare occasions where there's a Pokemon for everyone. Not every single Pokemon generation has been able to accomplish this, and it's already carrying over super hard. Tons of fan art. It's just been a little over a day, and there's tons of fan art of all these Pokemon, and just a lot of engagement overall, which is why I want to do this video kind of carrying through with a bit more information and a lot of other cool and crazy things going on with these Pokemon, because naturally, speculation is going to happen. What about the typings? What about the evolutions? What other information are we going to get about these Pokemon? Now, I will say that I am a huge fan of Popplio. My favorite starter, definitely going to be choosing him. It's really interesting because it seems like Rowlet and Litten are getting all of the love and attention, but then there's like the small group of hardcore Popplio fans, and Popplio's been growing on more people as well. A lot of really cool dynamics going on, and when it comes to all the extra information, unless you've been to the Pokemon Sun and Moon website, like the official webpage, and you've navigated around the site, you might not know all the little details. Like, we got more than just a move and just the battle sequence and just the pictures of these Pokemon. That's what we're going to break down in this video, as well as speculating the new types, except for Rowlet. It's already grass flying, so sorry dude, we already know you're most likely, like 99.9%, we know that your final evolution is going to be a grass flying, and that makes you pretty weak against ice, but overall Rowlet is still pretty cool and garnering a lot of fan hype. But here's where we get like the little bit of information off of the Pokemon Sun and Moon website. Rowlet can attack without making a sound, which is actually something you really wouldn't have thought about. It doesn't seem that agile or that swift, but it does. Drawing near to its opponent without being noticed, and then lashing out with powerful kicks. So yeah, it kind of like kicks and stuff, and then it can go from a distance and use your razor sharp leaves. It's almost turning into like Ninja Owl. That's really the vibe that I'm getting. So I'm wondering how close we can get to Shiftry in design without making it too much. Also with Greninja in the last generation, it seems like we already have a pretty hard ninja crossover, but when we look at Rowlet's attack, like the pictures that we get, it's throwing out feather, almost like, I wouldn't say shuriken, it's not that direct, but you know, it's throwing out a ranged feather attack. It also can swoop in and stuff, and the way that owls hunt is very stealthy. Its visual abilities are impressive. The darkness of night is no obstacle for Rowlet. It can twist its neck nearly 180 degrees from front to back so it can see directly behind itself. Has a habit of turning its head in battle to face its trainer to receive instructions. Now we actually got to see that. Like, he just like turns around, hey, what's up? And then tons of memes and GIF animations, you know, like when you hear someone talking smack behind your back. There's so many good ones. When the booty fine and it behind you like that. Rowlet, it has a lot of adorableness to it, but we can actually see like the lore's falling through pretty well, and that's actually an interesting thing that actually turns around to just be like, yo, what's up? What am I doing? What? Okay, you want me to use that move? Cool. And then it flips its head back and goes, and also turns 180 degrees the other way, so he does like a full like head tilt as well. Rowlet it's interesting in its own way, but not too much else to talk about without that extra typing, so I'm going to say nice leaf bow tie as we go on and talk about Litten. Now actually the typings for its evolutions are about as obvious as it gets. Of course it's going to be a firefighting type. I mean, Game Freak just loves firefighting starters, and Litten, there's no Pokemon that makes any more sense. I mean, Blaziken, Emboar, these Pokemon have nothing on Litten becoming a firefighting. Okay, but seriously though, it's a firefighting typing. And then starts getting interesting to break down, because it seems like we're going to have a feline form of the Houndour Houndoom evolution line. That we have a fire Pokemon that has dark coloration that's looking to become a dark fire type Pokemon. Okay, yeah, Litten's going to be dark fire, and that has a lot of really cool ways in which it can evolve and grow up. And if we look at the little bit of extra information about Litten, logical but also passionate. Litten always remains cool-headed and doesn't show any emotions on the surface. Okay, I mean, it doesn't get any more obvious than dark fire typing from there, right? That the only thing we could do on top of that is just like give it some emo hair and be like, yeah, it's cool but doesn't show emotions, and it's got a black coloration to it while being fire, so he's gonna be a cool cat. Well, that's also super lit, you know? But if we kind of look into it even more, this is where things start to get interesting. Litten can attack with flaming hairballs. They actually put an exclamation point because, yeah, flaming hairballs! Now here's the information you might not know about it. Its fur is rich in oils and is immensely flammable. It grooms itself by licking its fur and then uses the collected fur as fuel for fireball attacks. When the time comes for Lyn to shed its fur, it all burns up in a glorious blaze, and it comes knowing the move Ember. We actually see in the official art that it does like lick its paw, you know, it just does a little cat lick and then it shoots fire, which makes a lot of sense. But it kind of has a dragon feel, because traditionally, like, not all dragons are immediate fire breathers for free. That's where brimstone comes into play. That it needs to have some kind of interaction with the flammable substance, and then that turns into fire and fireballs. Post-video recording note where I'm just kind of editing something in because I wanted to clarify, brimstone is just a fancy name for sulfur. However, the symbol for sulfur looks just like the forehead markings on Litten. So we have Pyro Sulfur Cat, and sulfur in heavy concentration, like a lot of metals, can be toxic, but I think one of the crazier things to think about is sulfuric acid. Acid, Pokemon, acidity, toxicity. Ooh, we might be getting somewhere. And Litten has a little bit of extra fuel. It's not like, fur is flammable and then it turns into... No, it's oily fur. It's a specific flammable fur that it's covered in, so much so that it can just burn up and be like, I'm gonna shed my fur. And then cool stuff like that happens. And going on top of this, what if fire poison typing? That seems like a possibility, because when we go into the anime, there's a one from the Great Pokemon Race where it's like Rapidash, Flamethrower, and then Weezing tries to stop it, and then everyone's like, oh, that's not good. Boom, explosion, Team Rocket's blasting off again. But what if that's where this evolutionary line goes? That as the oils... As it evolves, the oils become more potent and potentially, like, I wouldn't say directly toxic, but that's why you can play it into that. You know, you're playing with poison, which is a flammable substance in the Pokemon world. So poison fire, shooting that, and then having that transition between fire type attacks and poison type attacks. I don't know how it's going to work with the design, but I think that's pretty cool. And it does play into the whole, what if it's a fire poison cat dragon? Okay, Lyn can get pretty crazy when it comes down to that, so we get to look forward to it. Oh, also, this appeared in my Twitter feed. I thought it was pretty cool. Just realized that it looks exactly like the Samurai Cat from Shaman King. Cool. Now let's go on to Popplio. Super fantastic showman right here with Popplio, and we can actually see that in all of the dex entries and stuff. Its swimming speed is known to exceed 25 miles per hour, so it's actually pretty quick, you know. It can take off. It has like Weasel feel with that, you know, just zooms around underwater. It's better at moving in the water than it is on land. Still, when on land, it takes advantage of the elasticity of its balloons to perform acrobatic stunts and jumps. Well, what about balloons? Well, Popplio can snort out balloons made of water, watch it spin water balloons into a playful battle strategy. And as we have like kind of seen with the art, you know, he pops up and you can either bounce off or play around with the balloons, and that's kind of cool, both frivolous and hardworking. It can either be like, you know what, I'm going to mess around with these balloons, I'm just going to do my own thing, or I can also go into a combative way. Popplio can easily get carried away, unleashing enough power in battle to make quite a spectacle, but its determined spirit means it can usually be found practicing hard on its balloon skills. So it's a mix of like, yo, I'm going to style on you super hard, and I might forget about styling on you and just play for fun and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Comes out knowing the move Water Gun, and as we can see from like the art breakdown, yeah, it can like trap Pokemon in the balloons, like in theory, but then has that elasticity, so it can use the balloons to like rocket and get a little bit of extra momentum in the battle, or also some repositioning. So a lot of really crazy tactics and just absolute fabulousness coming out of this Pokemon. But how fabulous is it? I'm guessing Fairy Water typing for Popplio, because when you think about it, if this Pokemon like evolves and it gets even crazier like that, there's a lot of whimsy here, and I feel that that can capture the spirit of what Fairy is going for in Pokemon, and that would be pretty cool. Fairy Water typing would be somewhat different. Now, this is where we kind of see where the other evolutionary lines could go into, because what if Popplio gets Ice Ball? It is that kind of seal, sea lion Pokemon, and it plays with balls quite a bit, so Ice Ball on the Pokemon makes sense. However, if it gets any little bit of an ice type attack, it's going to absolutely destroy Rowlet. it's seemingly going to have a pretty ridiculous advantage against Litten's dual typing if it's Fire Dark. Now, if it's Fire Poison on Litten, that has like some interesting balance out characteristics to where that, okay, we get the Ice type attack that destroys Rowlet, but Rowlet has the natural Grass against Water on us, and then there's kind of an even trade between Litten and Popplio, but then Litten also has heavy advantage over the Grass by also carrying Poison Fire, but then the Dark thing. So there's a lot of really crazy type things that we can talk about, but I think it's pretty cool. So a lot of heavy speculation going on so soon, and I think that's all I've got to say about the Pokemon trailer. It took 9 videos, but I am super hype. I'm more excited than when I first saw the Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. More excited than when I saw X and Y, because there was a lot of anticipation. I'm not saying like, oh, I fell for the fake leaks and the Game Freak trolling. I don't think Game Freak was trolling. I don't think there was any of that. I feel that the media was trying to get more out of the news than really, but that didn't kill my hype, and it didn't give me any more hype. I've always been excited for new Pokemon news, new Pokemon anything, because Pokemon's my life. Pokemon's the greatest thing ever. So now we kind of get into this, and it looks like Game Freak really wants to take this momentum. X and Y had a ton of momentum. Like, 5th generation, honestly, it kind of flopped. I did not enjoy it. I know many people that didn't enjoy it either, but X and Y came back, and it put Pokemon on the map again. That it felt like we were in Pokemon's like second win, that it was a fresh new era of everyone loving Pokemon. Now with Pokemon Go coming out, the 20th anniversary, it's going big, and I'm super excited to see all that. So that's why I want to pound out as many videos, get as much down as possible, and there's a lot of really cool things to talk about. Litten, there's actually something interesting here. Now, I don't know other typings, like we could have Mono Water just like a Samurott when it comes to Popplio, but Fairy Water makes a lot of sense, and people just love Rowlet, which is like a super assassin owl that is super chill and doesn't care about anything. He's like, I'm here. And turns around 180 degrees. You're over there. Let's play some Pokemon. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.